Hello guys, hello YouTube, Substack, and all that good stuff. So yeah, part two. Instead of three parts, I'm only doing two. So this will be part two of the subscribers requests. And there is one stock. I didn't know about it, but when I saw it, I'm like, this is one that I will 100% be involved if we get the breakout. It's an oil stock. It will be at the end of this video, close to the end at least. Beautiful setup, clean risk, clean reward. So you know exactly when to get out, but also when to enter. That's really, really important. Weekly, like a 2 year, 3 year long breakout potentially. Potentially. So let's dive in here. And yeah, as always, thank you very much for the submissions that you had, especially the one stock here. I can't remember the name. Maybe I can have a look here. We will do that on the fly here. It is, let me see here. It is, who was it? Who was it? Mm, Nat. I remember you. Nat, N-A-T, who's actually brought up this stock here. It looks amazing. He says, can you look at beep? As it looks like it is in the process of breaking out. Fundamentals are excellent as ramping up natural gas production, and we are bullish natural gas. This stocks look really good. So yeah, on that, you know exactly which one I'm talking about already. And well spotted, by the way. Beautiful, fantastic, fantastic spotted there on that stock. I like that a lot. I think these are the ones where you have like 10 of these per year, you're good. It is that good. Um, so first off here, Elevate. We did cover this one in our uranium Australia stock video a few days ago. It had some great momentum from 2020, obviously. Again, you know, boom, all the way up. Large bull flag here. We finally broke, yay. But that's also when we couldn't quite escape. And when we broke down here, back into the channel and the neckline, it has basically been game over ever since. If we get down to here, you know, roughly 18 cents, 19 cents, I will say you can start to nibble a little bit there in the elevate, you know, uranium sector. Looks like good value down here. And yeah, again, otherwise we're just waiting for the channel to break out really to gain momentum. But momentum is down. It's slowly starting to churn here. So not the best outlook short term, but again, maybe into the mid of 2025, we could start to see that move there. But it obviously needs to hold the pivot high and the channel, right? RGTI is again, this was also a sector that I haven't been looked into a lot. I very much regret that. Quantum computing has been blasting on all cylinders, you know, basically for the past year, especially the last few weeks, months here. RGTI. There is an ETF, by the way. I didn't know this, but Curious told me this one. QTUM has also been doing really well. And yeah, basically this stock here, he said that where is it? Quantum computing next year, is it a good investment? Again, look at the move here. I mean, absolutely amazing. But again, should you be buying here after a 1000% breakout? No, of course not. Again, just wait it out. There will be times when it's going to come down and give you the next entry, right? If this is the first one here, it could stall out for a long time and then we're ready. Again, it all depends on how things are going. But don't bite into it here. We have met the measured move. Let it calm down, and we will be ready. I'm making a list, by the way, with these quantum computing stocks, so we can hopefully have some good entries. I don't have any, by the way, and yeah, again, let it cool down just a tiny bit before going all nuts here. But what a move, right? Holy bananas. WM Waste Management. For this one here, we have to zoom out. Look at the uptrend. Basically here ever since 1990. Massive clean. You can see it here. Every time we're getting to it, we're bouncing. So how would I be playing this if I were to get in dividends? Doesn't really matter. 1%. You can see here we are at supply and demand zone here. A 1 year supply and demand here. Personally, when taking an entry in such a long uptrend stock, I would want to get the most extreme, cheapest, price. And that is whenever we touch this long-term trend line here, the uptrend. Because let's say we enter over here in 2026, right? We enter here at roughly 200. Let's zoom in, by the way. Let's zoom in just a bit here. Let's say we enter over here at 200. Cool. We buy our position, and it is breaking down. Cool. We can take the stop loss and be over with it, and just sit on the sidelines. Because if again you can buy here, but again then it is still okay for it to break down here. Again, then you have to sit in a lot of worrisome, and then you might get the breakdown or the bounce, obviously. But I like these long-term uptrends just to wait for those to get hit. And what you do basically is you take the uptrend here, create alert. In this case, it only goes out 2 months, so you have to update it sometimes from time to time, and then you get the email. It is that simple. So yeah, what an uptrend really. Basically, ever since we broke this little structure in here, it has been up, 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 and away, right? Just up from like 30 to 200. Imagine if they were paying dividends also. I mean, real dividends, yeah. POU, Paramount Resources. I think this is in Australia. No, it's in Canada. Oil, also a very good setup, by the way, now that I look at things here. The Bollinger Band, completely squeezed, tight and neat. You know exactly when you're wrong, and you are wrong whenever we start to trade below, right here. And the horizontal, roughly 25. If we take the wicks here, we're talking 24. So anything below 24, and it should start to go south here. On the other hand, golden trend line here, a break above 35, let's say 35 right here. You enter. Nice clean entry. I love these. Again, 2 years, 2.5 years sideways action. It's basically very binary. It's one or the other, right? And you are very right, and you're also very wrong. So you have to get out if you're wrong. So FSM here for tuna. Again, we bought it over here. We rallied a bit. We had some very nasty, I think it was here, earnings. Yeah, earnings right there. And now we're hovering around that big 4.2, which is, if you zoom out here like 8 years, you can see that is a major supply and support and resistance level. This is basically the big one we're playing. If we drop below 420, you can expect to move down to like 310 here. And the big, hopefully, the big one, the big breakout will be, right? And then we go from here, right? So that is the big one that we're waiting for. And anything below this trend line, the March 2020, I wouldn't say game over, but you might want to reconsider being involved in Fortuna mining. So yeah. But we have two on top here. If we break, I'm expecting, when and if this break to the upside, by the way, I'm expecting a quick move, pull back, and then it's going to rally heavily. That is, the name here for that squeeze, a 4-year sideways squeeze action here. So at one point in time, there will be a very clean entry for Fortuna. Hopefully we don't break down, right? I really want this to go to the upside and be a part of that move. And we can do some projections here. I'll say we can do something like this, and then we can actually add it on top here. So we could see some big moves for Fortuna, and the entry will be down here somewhere. So yeah, amazing. Hopefully. The weekly here for EMO, Emerita Resources. I haven't been looking at this basically for ever. I think I haven't, or have I? I don't know exactly. But we have the clean uptrend here. We have the neckline right here, and it hasn't broken to the upside of a 2.5-year head and shoulders. Beautiful breakout here. Should you be buying up here? No. Again, if you have bought it there, fantastic, cool, hold it. We are coming into resistance, right here at, you can see it if we make this little zone here, make it red, so it is resistance, yeah. So you can see that actually we have pivot low, you go see support, breakdown, resistance. Therefore, the 1.20 to 1.35 is a huge, supply and demand zone. So where are we now? If we go to the weekly candles, we're basically trying to break through. So if this is a top here, it could be a top. Again, we could come all the way down to here and things are still fine. And as long as we're above this golden trend line, we're fine here. We could go in for retest of the neckline, which we see very often. And hopefully that is also when you buy or add. So if you bought here, you can buy again here and hopefully grind it higher. If we drop below the neckline and the uptrend, basically anything below 160, maybe a tad lower depending on, but you know, below this trend line here, get out. Just cut your losses or um, yeah, just be on the sidelines basically to see where we're at. This is gold and silver, by the way, but for now it looks really good. And any bullish setup should be bought. Any breakout should be bought. Retest should be bought here. Uh, if we go straight through, which we obviously can, I have a level here at 2.7, which is, oh, I've deleted that, by the way. It is the measured move of this pattern here. There it is. So if we get to here, we're close to all-time highs. We can have some overshooting, but I'm expecting massive pullback once we get to here. Again, there should be a lot of liquidity up here. Um, so yeah, great one here. Again, don't buy it up here. You should drop down to basically the 2-hourly, in my opinion, and see if there's anything going on that we can build up from here. You can see the short-term uptrend is broken. It doesn't mean that we're gonna say hello, go straight down, but the initial momentum uptrend is broken. The breakout uptrend is broken, and hopefully, again, I'm just drawing something here that is by no means, hopefully we get something like this, right? Just to be, that would be amazing, right? To have that whole thing, and then you buy the break of the flag and above the support and resistance level. Again, this is very early, by the way. First move down, so you have the initial. Then we're going to see how high it goes. Hopefully it goes as high as possible and not going too much sideways, and then again, hopefully, and then we can actually ride it higher. LYC, Luna's Rare Earth Metals, going to the weekly here. Messy one, very messy chart, by the way. Zooming out, you can see 30 years of, yeah. And the only thing that I saw here really is that we are, again, it's not picture perfect by any means. You can see here the trend line is actually, even now that I'm correcting it, it is, you can see here, tagging there, a little bit of a broadening structure. Touch it here, breakout, retest, fail, back in. So not the best outlook here for LUYC after that, massive false breakout here. The only thing is that we have an internal breakout here where we're actually testing that structure in here, right? We have a trend line going across from 2023. You can see, right? And breaking out, testing it here. So if we can start to come back above again, as soon as possible, by the way, then it doesn't look too bad, but that could be a massive false breakout. And you can see when we try to pierce back above, instant selling on the weekly right there. So how is the daily looking? Do we have anything to, you can see here, that was basically your, this is not going too well. Breaking down, testing that. There might be something going on here, but this is not my dream setup here. Some sort of falling wedge here. So again, if we can see the break and get above and stay here above the long-term golden there, it's okay. But right now, be careful. Be careful. You can see we're coming down hard. A lot of selling. Little pause, bear flag, a lot of selling. So give it some time here, really. If you're not in it, don't rush into it here. It's a little bit of a messy one still. IMPUY. Same thing here is also really, really messy. This is platinum and palladium. Um, Again, silver and gold stocks, uranium stocks, again, very volatile, sometimes very difficult to predict. But platinum and palladium, the miners, are even more. I mean, that is out of this world difficult to hold on and to see the pullbacks. And all of a sudden you have a 4-day reversal where you're getting like 10% in a row. I mean, it's very, very, very difficult. But right now we have trying to break out here, and actually had a very beautiful 1, 2, 3 here, trying to test the long-term golden, break down, oops, retesting from below, and then puke. Trying again here, trying to get above again, and nope. And we are now still within the overall blue here, right? That is the one we need to break. We need to break the blue. Until then, don't enter. You need to break this upper blue here at roughly 6.6 or 6.8. If you want to go really wide and have a little more safety, a tad above 7 there, the false breakout of that. But also note here the potential bear flag. So if we can't break out here, we're going to have another spill all the way down to roughly 3.20. Basically that bottom here. And still within the lower channel here, but it's getting drawn out quite a bit. So GGP, that sounded like a different different word. Actually, a setup that is really good. Somewhat I wouldn't say messy, but I want to take you back here to 2010. That pivot high here. We broke out here, got rejected it, then we broke out. And then we have been squeezing quite hefty here. Again, it might be a better picture just to leave it here. So the uptrend is here. It got broken. We are just sliding, and we are close to getting down to the low fives here. And if we can break here, this is one of those where you have a ton of energy being built up, and you can actually pop a big time. This one, again, you have the uptrend in your favor, consolidating. I mean, this one could do insanely well. We are at 6, and I'm expecting a move back to at least the triangle high there. So if you buy the breakout there and taking 100% off at the triangle high, it's a pure winning play. It could go higher, absolutely. But again, triangle highs, usually around this area, you have a lot of selling coming in. So again, we have to wait and see. We don't know exactly which way it's going to go, but we are coming into support here at 4.7, and we are squeezing. If we get a break, you can buy the break. You can have your stop below 4.7 here. So you're risking, again, 30%. I know that's a lot, but upside, boom, 500. So risk reward is really, really good. Great. I like this setup, actually, really cool. And now to one of the big ones. This is actually quite good now that I look at things here. The weekly Bollinger Band is tight as it gets. So it's actually quite nice as well, that one. GASX. NG Energy Oil. And the reason why I like it so much is the 2.5-year sideways action here. I want to go to the Heikin Ashi again. It gives me a better picture. The biggest downside to this is if we zoom out, you can basically see we have been in a downtrend for basically since the IPO, right? And we are, again, when you have a 2.5-year squeeze, ideally, we want this to be on the back foot of like an uptrend, right? And then we're gonna, come down, and then we start to consolidate. That's better because you have the uptrend and consolidation. In this case, you do have somewhat of a downtrend, but you're still consolidating here, right? And if we go to the upside, it's still a great entry. So how to play it here? I will say anything above 1.20, you enter. Anything below, and I mean anything like a weekly close below the uptrend here, that is your stop loss. You have to get out. If let's say we break out, we're going to come down, weekly close here, just get out. Be on the sidelines. Again, could it start to turn? Sure. But again, you are breaking a very clear uptrend here. And from 2019, and you have already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is getting weaker and weaker. But again, if we can manage to break out from this head and shoulders right here before we go, again, that's, roughly the entry there, 1.18, depending. We are having a move all the way to 3.2, 3.1 for the measured move. And also, at that point in time, we are very close to a big cascading level here. Just look at the drop, right? When we came down hard and then just basically gone silent and then collapse. these points in time or levels where you're having a huge collapse or a move to the upside, when you're coming to revisit that, heavy resistance very often. So I want to show you here the weekly Bollinger Band, extremely tight. You have all the moving averages basically in here. So if we start to move and we can really get some grounding here, all the moving averages will start to turn up. So I love this one here. Yeah, I'm also making a video gathering some stuff for energy for 2025. What are we looking for in oil? Coal. Gas looks really good. I'm long, on natural gas alone. Uranium, obviously, duh. And one more, hydrogen. If we have some, especially oil, we need oil to perform. But energy could be one of the big ones in 2025 after a complete stale, I wouldn't say stalemate, but again, a very poor 2024. So again, I hope you enjoyed this, guys, and thank you for this GASX. Also, GGP, really good setup there. I really like that. Again, the initial uptrend squeezing here into support, really good. And yeah, have a great day, guys. I will put up the next post for subscribers, you submitting your stocks, and I will promise you to do them faster than this time. Again, it went like 6 days. I'm ashamed. Sorry for that, guys. But again, Christmas, all that good stuff. So have an amazing day. It's been a pleasure. Cheers, guys. Bye.